Welcome to the second one-on-one session with Cludd. I am your dungeon mom, Tori, and I'm going to have Cludd introduce themselves, the person who plays Cludd as well as the character. So go ahead and give us some information about Cludd, race, class, pronouns, what their role is as a character in the campaign, what do they do, and your thoughts on the last one-on-one session where Cludd got to meet George Bwittlebop, the person who awakened her for the first time.
Thank you. My name is Saul. I play the funny little artificer warforged called Cludd, or in this case, CLU-13. They go by any pronouns, and in modern times, their current sort of directive is that of helping the research team under Professor Eyja, just maintaining equipment as an artificer would, as well as just, reintegrating itself with the world around them. The
Right.
thoughts on George is that I personally, as a player, absolutely am in love with this little guy. And Cludd's kind of the same as that. Just very interested about the person who he thinks, has done this wonderful thing and brought life to fruition.
All right. Awesome. I'm really excited to get into this one-on-one session. And I'm very excited to explore a little bit more of Cludd's backstory, share some information with you that you should know, especially since Cludd is quite older, considerably, compared to literally everyone else in this campaign, including all NPCs. Cludd is like 1,462 years old. So a lot of time has come to pass since Cludd has been alive and, decommissioned. So I think Cludd was probably how old is Cludd in terms of life experienced is the real question. I think about maybe closer to like 200. I'd say maybe less than 200.
Actually,
But somewhere
no, I
in
think
there.
it's slightly more from what we know.
We gotta do the
About
math now.
216. So not far off.
Okay, so still around, yeah. So basically, Cludd has experienced 216 years of life previously, but this was also like 1,000 years ago. So a lot has happened in her life, and so we're going to delve into some things that pertain to this campaign, which I'm very excited to get into. Would you like a little recap as to what happened in our last session summary?
I would love a little recap.
All right. In our last one-on-one session, Cludd was awakened for the first time, or should I say CLU-13, as they didn't have their nickname yet. Upon awakening, they were in a workshop of some sort on a high level in a building, what she could make out based off of like surroundings and windows and things. The person who was navigating this awakening is George Bwittlebop, a gnomish man with red hair, rather cheery personality, and a slight southern accent, who is working on a Cyberized Legionary Unit project for the government. Cludd had a series of tests, cognitive tests, motor skills, and as well as some critical thinking tests in which she did really well with. And so at the end of that, George explained that, because a lot of tests have happened, it'd be really good to give Cludd a rest in order to make sure the wiring and everything is up to the right code, and so there is no overheating or anything like that. we are going to travel a little bit back in time, not 1,000 years, for today's session. Sometime after your reawakening this summer, you are in the research lab at the University of Andorra with Professor Eyja. She's giving you a little tinkering, trying to fix what the other students did according to your requests. As you remember, there are some students that decided to replace some of the functions of Cludd with random items to see if things would work right, changing lots of different wiring and things. So Cludd was working like they were supposed to, but a little bit different. And so Professor Eyja is taking whatever requests you have in terms of putting things back correctly or keeping little funny odds and things that you would enjoy, as well as giving you some upgrades for the current technology. One day, in the afternoon, Professor Eyja has you laying on a type of reclined chair and is tinkering with some of the wiring in your head when you feel a little jolt of electricity and a video feed plays, allowing you to see a scene. You see George in his workshop. He's sitting in a chair by the workbench that he has, and he looks like he's kind of fixing the camera and just, checking the angles, seeing if things are right. And he straightens up and kind of sits up straight and smiles into the camera. And he says,
"Hi, friend. I've made a modification so that you would see this video upon reawakening. If you are seeing this, it means that I'm long gone. I hope life has been treating you well. You've always been a kind and caring friend to me over the years, and I hope you will be able to enact positive change in this world as it evolves. Wishing you the best of luck. And Cludd, the answers are in you. Love you, son."
and this video kind of like the scene fades, and you see another clip. This time, George, a little bit younger, less wrinkles in the face. As you know, gnomish people can also live quite long. But 200 years previously, you can kind of tell a little bit, you see younger George in the same workshop, but less equipment and lots of boxes around the room. You see same kind of camera situation, same location and everything. George is fiddling with the camera, making it kind of straightened, and he is beaming with enthusiasm.
"Hi, future George. Look, it's me. We just moved into our first official workshop. No more experiments at the mom and pop's house. I've got all my equipment moved in and ready to go. They want me to continue on my droid project. Gonna call it Cyberized Legionary Units. But I got some other projects going on as well. I've decided I want to synthesize my DNA. There are some procedures out there now that show it's possible. So I'm going to work on this project in secret and release my findings if the time is right. But first, gotta get those CLUs running."
This scene changes. The next clip is an unpacked workshop with basic machinery, the work table, basic, kind of setup. Not as fancy as what you remember when you were first awakened. You see, sitting in a chair similar to you, is a basic model. There is no faceplate of the Cyberized Legionary Unit, and instead there are 2 light bulbs for eyes. And this is the clip not of George talking to himself, but just of the awakening of this unit.
Here they are, our first Cyberized Legionary Unit.
He activates it, and you see the eyes light up.
Hello there, friend. My name is George. Ah!
You see the CLU start to smoke, and George jumps up immediately, grabs a fire extinguisher. No, you don't. Goodbye, you hear from the CLU before it erupts into flames. You see George grab a bucket of water, throw it onto the droid. The lights from the eyes fade, and it collapses to the floor.
I guess we'll have to try again. Didn't waterproof the darn thing. I'll have to do that next time,
He says. The next couple clips, you see a series of CLUs being built. These you've kind of heard stories about, but seeing them is a different thing. The next 2 turn on, don't explode, but cannot stand up or move. He works on balancing aspects over time, and then you see them function quite well. Almost too well. The next one, as it awakens, a laser shoots out of the fingertip of one and smashes the chair while sitting in it, making George scramble to the back room for a weapon, which he uses to destroy the droid off camera. The next clip is George with a CLU very similar to yourself.
Hello there, friend. My name is George Bwittlebop. You are a Cyberized Legionary Unit, the 12th of your kind.
Hello, I am a CLU 12, according to my programming.
Excellent. Can you do some magical tinkering for me?
I am unable to do this as requested. Could you provide an alternative task?
I was really hoping that last coding would work. Unless... I have an idea.
You see, he runs off camera and the video fades. You then see yourself become awakened. The best version out there. You enjoy your memory of being played back for you as if it were yesterday. And the video fades. You are back in the research lab once more. And you see Professor Eyja, and she's just kind of like standing off on the side, looking nervous, staring at you. Everything okay?
Cludd kind of simulates some blinking with their LED panel and kind of gently scratches the surface of it. I think so. And they'll just kind of do what they remember and testing their hand movements. Fingers to thumb.
You stopped responding when I was asking you questions. There was a jolt of electricity. I was worried you were gone again, but it seems like you're here. Everything seemed normal? Did anything happen?
Well, it seems that when we were doing some tinkering, I seem to have recalled a few I wouldn't say memories per se, but almost like pieces of media trapped.
Interesting. Well, if they weren't your memories, then whose were they?
They were my creators. They were like little recordings, that's the word.
Interesting. Your creator is one of the most... Well, he's famous for everything that he's created in Andorra. It's world-changing technology. I'm sure it must have been a very special moment for you to experience. Seeing him again.
The faceplate on Cludd changes into a boxy smile as they just nod. It was. It feels like only yesterday when he was teaching me how to move around.
Well, I don't want to pry. Anything you want to share, you're of course welcome to. But also, I think it's important to share this kind of information with someone. Or keep a journal. I'm sure it might be a good idea. Record all these memories.
You know, I think that's a really good idea. Just having something to always look back to, even if it doesn't make sense at the time.
You know, Cludd, there is an amazing hobby called scrapbooking. You can take little pictures and things and attach stickers and notes and whatever you want to in a whole collection book. And they have them digital now too. If that's something you're interested, could look into getting some supplies.
Cludd's face panel kind of lights up a little bit at the idea of it and just kind of claps their hands a little bit together. That sounds like a wonderful idea.
I think there's a makerspace at the school too that you can make stickers at. That would be an exciting thing to do, don't you think?
It certainly would. I hope it might ensure my memory remains intact for a lot longer.
It's important to have those creative moments too. We can't always just be mindlessly working. Getting that break in for your own function is good as well.
That's true.
I was gonna say brain, but I'm the only one with one here.
Well, from what I can somewhat remember, I believe George even told me to make sure that I rest and things. Wouldn't want to stress my systems out too much.
Exactly, and that's why stasis is so important. But variety of different skills I'm sure will be really good to advance your programming.
That's very true. I would love to just... Cludd kind of pauses a moment, almost like they're stuck.
Oh, are you okay? Oh, darn it, happened again.
After a little moment, Cludd kind of comes to again. And just kind of has the same thing of scratching their faceplate. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. At least I knew what to expect this time. I do have a surprise for you I'm really excited about. So, if you will look down at your left arm, there is a little screen that you can see and pull up. I have attached a phone into your arm, so you can now have one with your own phone number and everything. So you could be just like the rest of us. I'm sure there's probably friends and things you've made along the way that you want to keep in contact with.
Cludd kind of raises their arm up and just examines the interface. Just kind of hovering their other hand over it, just in thought. And as the professor mentions friends, Cludd continues to just sort of smile and go like, well, at the festival, there were some really nice people. As you know, it would be nice to talk to them again.
I'm sure if it was meant to happen, it will. They look like students, from what I remember, so you'll probably run into them sometime soon. The school is a big place, but it's a bit small, community-wise, if you know what I mean.
I do. Hopefully, I'll be able to run into them.
Any other requests that I can do? Body modifications and things. I've left the rubber ducky. You don't have to worry about that.
Cludd just smiles. I'm not sure. We've been through most of the modifications that had occurred, and I feel like quite a few of them feel just right.
Well, that's good to hear. Perhaps I can get you started with some of my official research projects then, now that all the tinkering's done.
I would love to help. It's what I was built for, after all.
I have a lot of programming to do. Some pieces of the code isn't super great, but I can't tell if it's the code or the machinery, so I can work on the code if you're willing to work on the machinery.
That
Together,
sounds like a good plan.
we can figure it out. We make a good team.
We do.
And I have a lot to learn from you. You have a lot of experience that I don't. So, I think it'll be real helpful. And I could teach you some programming or something if you're interested.
I would be. It would be great to be able to maintain parts of myself on the go.
There's even some other special tinkering that I can teach you. Works sometimes, but not all the time. All the time.
Oh?
Certain times, if you turn a screw the right way or tighten a wire, it'll give you a boost of energy. But sometimes that fails, and every single time you shake someone's hand, it'll electrocute them. Haven't gotten it fully right. Been working on it since, But I could teach it to you in case that's something you want to fiddle with.
They could be handy.
Haha. Was that a joke? It was a good one.
Thank you. I feel like I'm feeling more human. Humanoid?
Well, you are humanoid. That's true.
That is very true. And Cludd just smiles.
All right, now let me show you how to work on this phone. And she kind of goes through and explains a bunch of different apps. She shows you Wixagram, Spell Talk, several different social media apps in this world, and goes over a bunch of different things, how to add contacts, just gives you the rundown. And she puts her own contact in there in case you ever need to contact her for any reason.
Wow. The wonders of technology.
A lot has changed.
It has. It feels homey, but yet so mystical all in one.
Is it a hard adjustment? Seeing all this for the first time?
Bud kind of looks down a little bit in thought. I'm unsure how to really answer that. Because in some aspects it feels like I've never been asleep, but in others, sort of like this, it feels almost...
I think I understand. You have the
we can-
knowledge, either way, to be able to get through all of this and pick up on everything quite easily. I can't imagine a person trying to do this. You are like a supercomputer, able to absorb all this information at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, I definitely do have a more experienced grasp of it, but I suppose that's just due to my background in history, really.
It's what makes you special.
Special. Yeah.
From what I understand, Warforged back in your time didn't really have personalities and things. You're special for many different reasons.
Yeah. One of a kind, as some would say.
Definitely one of a kind.
Cludd kind of swings their feet
Oh!
Back and forth.
I have one more surprise for you. Are you ready?
Oh? Of course.
Had to get the dean's permission for this. Alright, come with me. And she kind of leaves the research lab and heads down the hall. And she uses her she motions for you to give her your ID card. By this time, you have received one from the university staff. And most of the research doors and offices and things use keycard access with your ID card. And she motions for you to get out your ID card and to swipe it onto the little the panel that's next to the door. I've had this installed just for you.
Oh? Cludd will kind of reach around in their pocket and bring out the key card and do as instructed.
As you open the door, you see a very small room, about a closet, with a teeny bit extra space. Shelves and things along the walls. And you see on one of the walls is a scrapbook, empty. And markers and different like washi tape and things. And then on the other walls are different clothing options. A university t-shirt, a hat, and different things. And there's also what looks to be like a rather comfortable office chair. Wasn't much that I could do, but this is a place you can call home. I made sure they kept the shelves in case you wanted to collect any knickknacks on your new adventures in this time.
Cludd takes a moment to process, kind of turning its head slightly, looking at each. individual piece, like as if it was a puzzle. And almost without a beat, we'll turn to the professor and kind of just go, I love it. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm glad. Well, I'm sure you'll make this place your own, but I wanted to give you some starting materials. I know we've been getting you new outfits and things, so I just wanted to give you something from the university, officially. We want you to be happy here. We hope you want to be here and stay with us for a long time. Because I swear, if you leave before I retire, I might just lose it. You've been the best darn assistant I've had, and we haven't even hardly worked together yet.
Blood just ends up giggling and kind of, without being prompted, kind of gives the professor a small hug.
And she kind of gives you like a hug back.
Don't worry, I don't plan on leaving for a while. Or at all at this rate.
That's good to hear. Alright, well, I'll let you get accustomed to your new space. At least you have a place to rest or go into stasis. And be to yourself if you like.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
And that's where we're going to end this mini session.
I'll cry, Tori. I'll do it. I'll fucking cry. I'm just sitting here, it's just like, what the fuck? It's just...
About which part?
all of it.
Good, I hope. Good, I hope.
Oh, so good. I
Yay!
love them.
And we didn't do any rolls or anything.
Oh no, it's crazy. It was awesome.
Alright, any closing remarks?
I need to find the digital scrapbook application now.
Perhaps we can have Z work up something.
True.
I'm excited for Z to potentially draw Cludd's little closet.
It's so cute. Oh.
Alright, well, thank you so much for this mini session, and until next time.
Thank you.